Part 4. A feeble body enfeebles the mind. Jane Jacques Rouse. Colonel Bradford was addressing the Himalayan Club for the last time before leaving to travel to other parts of the United States and his native England. He had chosen to speak on various things other than the 5 Tibetan Rites, which help in the rejuvenation process. And as he stood before the group, he appeared to be sharper, more alert and more vigorous than ever before. Immediately after his return from India, he had seemed to be the image of perfection. But since then, he had continued to improve, and even now he was making new gains. "First of all," said the colonel, "I must apologize to the women in our group because much of what I have to say tonight will be direct to the men. Of course, the 5 rites which I have taught you are equally beneficial to men and women, but being a man myself, I would like to speak on a subject of importance to other men. I'll begin by talking about the male voice. Do you know that some experts can tell how much sexual vitality a man has just by listening to him speak? We have all heard the shrill, peeping voice of man who is advanced in age. Unfortunately, when an old man's voice begins to take on that pitch, it's a sure sign that physical deterioration is well underway. Let me explain. The 5th vortex in the throat area governs the vocal cords, and it also has a direct connection with the 2nd vortex, which governs the body's sexual center. Of course, all of the vortexes have common connections, but their two are, in a manner of speaking, geared together. What affects one affects the other. As a result, when a man's voice is high and shrill, it's an indicator that his sexual vitality is low. And if energy in the 2nd vortex is low, you can bet that it's lacking in the other 6 as well. Now, all that necessary to speed up the 2nd and 5th vortexes, along with all of the others, is to practice the 5 rites. But there is another method which you can use to help speed up the process. It's easy to do. All that's required is willpower. You simply need to consciously make the effort to lower your voice. Listen to yourself speak, and if you hear yourself becoming higher or more shrill, adjust your voice to lower register. Listen to men who have good firm speaking voice and take note of the sound. Then, whenever you speak, keep your voice down in that masculine pitch as much as possible. Many men find this to be quite a challenge, but the reward is that it does bring excellent results. Before long, the lowered vibration of your voice will speed up the vortex in the throat. That, in return, will help speed up the vortex in the sexual center, which is near the body's doorway to vital life energy. As the upward flow of this energy increases, the throat vortex will speed up still more, helping the voice to go still lower, and so on. There are young men who appear to be robust and virile now, but who unfortunately will not remain that way for long. That is because their voice never fully matured and remained rather high. These individuals, as well as the older ones I've been talking about, can get wonderful results by consciously making the effort to lower their voice. In a younger person, this will help to preserve vitality, while in older one, it will help to renew it. Some time ago, I came across an excellent voice exercise. Like other effective things, it is quite simple. Whether you are by yourself or where there is sufficient noise to drown your voice so you won't disturb others. Practice saying in low tone, partly through the nose. Repeat it again and again, lowering your voice in steps until you force it as low as you possibly can. It's effective to do this first thing in the morning, when the voice already tends to be in a lower register. Then make an effort to hold your voice in a low pitch for the rest of the day. Once you start making progress, practice in the bedroom so you can hear your voice reverberate. Then try to get the same effect in a large room. When the vibration of your voice is intensified, it will cause the other vortexes in the body to speed up, especially the second one in the sexual center and the sixth and seventh in the head. In older women, the voice can also become high and shrill, and it should be toned down in this same manner. Of course, a woman's voice is naturally higher than a man's, and women should not attempt to lower their voice to the point of sounding masculine. In fact, it will be beneficial for a woman whose voice is abnormally masculine to attempt to raise her voice pitch using the method already described. The lamas chant in unison, sometimes for hours, in low register. The significance of this is not the chanting itself or the meaning of their words. It is vibration of their voice and its effect on the 7 vortexes. Now, said the colonel after pausing a moment, everything I've taught you so far has concerned the 7 vortexes, but now I'd like to discuss a few things that can make you all much younger, even though they do not directly affect the vortexes. If it were possible to suddenly take an aging man or woman out of the decrepit old body and place him or her in a younger, new one about 25 years of age, I'd be willing to bet that he or she would continue to act old and to hold on to the attitudes that helped bring on old age in the first place. Though most people will complain about advancing age, the truth is they get dubious pleasure out of growing old and all the handicaps that come with it. Needless to say, this attitude isn't going to make them any younger. If an older person truly wants to grow younger, they must think, act, and behave like a younger person and eliminate the attitudes and mannerisms of old age. The first thing to pay attention to is your posture. Straighten up. When you first started this class, some of you were so bent over that you looked like question marks. But as vitality began returning and your spirits improved, your posture improved also. That was fine, but don't stop now. Think about your posture as you go about your daily activities. Straighten your back, throw your chest out, pull in your chin, and hold your head high. Right away, you have eliminated 20 years from your appearance and 40 years from your behavior. Also, get rid of the mannerisms of old age. When you walk, know first where you're going, then start out and go directly there. Don't shrivel. Pick up your feet and stride. Keep one eye on the place where you're going and other on everything you pass. At the Himalayan monastery, there was a man like myself, a Westerner, who acted like a man of 25 and didn't look a day over 35 years of age. He was actually more than 100 years old. If I told you how much over 100, you wouldn't believe me. In order for you to achieve this kind of miracle, you must first desire to do so. Then you must accept the idea that it is not only possible, but absolutely certain that you will. As long as the goal of growing younger is an impossible dream to you, it will remain just that. But once you fully embrace the wonderful reality that you can indeed become younger in appearance, health, and attitude, and once you energize that reality with focused desire, you have already taken your first drink of the healing waters of the fountain of youth. The 5 simple rites which I have taught you are a tool or a device that can enable you to achieve your own personal miracle. After all, it is the simple things of life which are most powerful and effective. If you continue to perform these rites to the best of your ability, you will be ever so richly rewarded. It has been most gratifying to see each of you improve from day to day, concluded the Colonel. I have taught you all that I can for the present, but as the 5 rites continue to do their work, they will open doors to further learning and progress in the future. In the meantime, there are others who need the information which I have taught you, and it is time for me to be on my way to them. At this, the Colonel bade us farewell. This extraordinary man had earned a very special place in our hearts, and so, of course, we were sorry to see him go. But we were also glad to know that before long others will be sharing the priceless information which he had so generously shared with us. We consider ourselves fortunate indeed, for in all of history, few have been privileged to learn the ancient secret of the fountain of youth.